She's a business owner. And she wanted more time in her life. And she said, listen, the only way I'm going to get there, being a business owner, I need to find more leverage in my life. And she said, I got started, saw AC and got started and understood what she had to do to get to where she wanted to go. She's an RD on her way, it's a pit stop on her way to RVP. She hails from San Antonio, Texas. Without further ado, Regional Director, the one and only, Miss Roxanne Corralejo.
Thomas, and thank you everybody. As always, it is an honor to be here. These calls really have benefited me. I hope what I have to say has benefited you as well. When Mr. Thomas asks me to do these calls, I always hesitate a little bit because I never know what I want to talk about. I always go back and forth and I'm like, man, I want to know what topic to talk about. We have tons of training all the time. We already know what to do in the business. We know about the system, and everything that comes from me comes from the heart. And I think that is a big thing that I want to be consistent with. And it comes from the heart on what my struggles have been. I let you guys all know my lows, my lowest of lows, and what has happened, because you might be going through those struggles as well. But on top of that, I've also let you know what my successes were, because I want you to be able to get there as well. I don't want to be here alone. I want to take as many people with me, and that is why we do ACN, to see how many people that we can bring with us. But when Mr. Thomas asked me to do this call today, hands down, I had no problem on the topic today. It was super easy, not because it's an easy topic, but it's because something that has been so prevalent in my life lately over the past 6 months, and that is mental shift. What do I mean by that? Mental shift. What is that? So we talk about having the right mindset to be a business owner all the time in Saturday training. If you guys are on Saturday training, hopefully you're on there every single Saturday and you hear about having the right mindset as a business owner. What do we need to do to get there? But we don't talk about mental shift. Having the right mindset, to be honest, I've done plenty of the trainings myself in front of a whole bunch of people. It is so much easier said than done. That is the truth of it. I've been a business owner for 8 years now, not exclusively with ACN. My history as a business owner before that, but it really is easier said than done. And that's because of the fact, okay, we know how to be a business owner. We know what we want to do. We know the mindset we're supposed to have, but how do we get there? And that's having that proper mental shift to get there. Something needs to shift in here for us to see it. Because all the time when I'm on trainings, it doesn't matter who's talking, if it's someone in this business, if it's a motivational speaker, if it's something I paid to see and help motivate me in my businesses in general, I can hear it, but I don't implement it or put it into action unless I have that mental shift. So lately, what have been mine? I've had 3 big ones. I've had a lot, but I've had 3 big mental shifts. And the first one is rethinking failure. So we got to rethink failure. The second one is I had to learn how to be active in my day instead of reactive to my day. And I'll explain to you guys exactly how I was able to overcome that. And then the third one is understanding and knowing that my time is not now. Right now is not my time, or my time isn't coming. So I had that mental shift in thinking, all right, my time is coming. I paid my dues. And that I had to have a big mental shift in that, and knowing that my time isn't coming. And I'll explain that here in a second too. So the first one, rethinking failure. That is a big one. We lose so many people in this business, or in business in general. People quit starting a business or doing business because of the fact that they think they failed. It is too hard. They had too many no's. And that happens. I can promise you, Mr. L. Thomas on this call, every single RVP, SVP, RD, everyone has had no's. Just because you had a no, does that mean you have failed? Absolutely not. Who on this call has kids? Anybody have kids? Anybody grandkids, nieces, nephews? When kids are growing up and they're learning how to walk, we train them and teach them how to walk. They take their first couple steps, or they stand up and they fall on their behind. Does that mean they failed? Absolutely not. That means their legs weren't strong enough. We need to keep trying, keep standing, keep growing. You have to learn from right now what you might be thinking are failures. They're just stepping stones to get to where you want to get to. So what do? We make some adjustments. So some adjustments might be, you know what, let's add some pillows. So next time that toddler, that kid doesn't fall and knock his head up and start crying or whatever it is. And so when a toddler is trying to walk, the first thing you got to do is you got to congratulate them when they fall. Yay, it's okay. We took our first steps. We have to do the same thing in business. Our very first call, I don't know about you guys, my very first calls were rough. I hear it all the time now when I'm training people. Oh, I cannot do this. I don't sound like you. I can't be like you. Guess what? I wasn't like me either. They were horrible conversations. And at that time, I thought I was failing, but they were just those stepping stones. What did I do? I leaned on the person that brought me into this business. I leaned on people around me, people that weren't even in my organization to help me. So as a toddler is trying to walk, you set up pillows so that they don't hurt themselves. That's the same thing. That's what our leadership there. That is why we have that support system built in. Those are our pillows. So rethink that failure, you guys. Every time we hit a no, every time we don't hit our goal or we don't meet something that we want to do, it's not because we failed. We're just on those stepping stones to learning how to walk. Eventually, we learn how to walk. What would happen if you as a parent that said, oh no, she fell down, he fell down, he hurt himself, we're never doing this again. We quit walking. What would happen? They would never learn how to walk unless they got up and said, you know what, I'm not counting on you, I'm doing it myself. But that's the case. And that's the same thing with this business or any business that you're doing is you got to rethink that failure. We haven't failed. Get up, take that next step, continue to walk, you guys. Our persistence, our consistency, that is what gets us to progress. Now, the second thing is being active to my day instead of reactive to my day. So as a business owner, I have heard so many things about you got to get up early, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever it is, you got to start your day early. I am not a morning person. If you call me and wake me up or you are in the room as I'm waking up, you do not want to be in the room. I am so excited and happy on a normal basis and always smiling because I like my sleep. It takes me a while to wake up. So I have heard so many times, well, you can't be a successful business owner. You can't be a millionaire unless you wake up early. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. We all have the same hours in the day. You wake up early, guess what? You go to bed early. I wake up late and I go to bed late. I'm okay working till 11 o'clock at night, till midnight. I'm okay with that. Several years go by and I said, you know what? I need to have this mental shift. I need to see what everyone's talking about. They're saying getting up early. What the heck? So as I'm getting up at 10 o'clock, traditionally would be my normal wake up time because I like my body to wake up on its own. I don't want a boss to tell me when I have to wake up. So I wake up at 10 a.m. But what am I doing? The first thing I do is I have one eye open and I'm looking at my phone and I have all these missed calls. I have all these messages from Facebook to WhatsApp to whatever it is. There's messages and stuff coming in. So I am now laying in bed for an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, responding to everybody. I started my day with a to-do list. Before I went to sleep, I had a to-do list of what I had to do. But now we're looking at 11 o'clock, 11:30 a.m. And I have done nothing on my to-do list because I'm too busy responding to everything. My traditional business, I run a locksmith business. That is emergency service. So I got to get on it with those people. And sometimes that's rough if I'm getting woken up at 3 a.m. or whatever time it is for a lockout. So I noticed that what I was doing is I was being reactive to my day. So many of us have busy lives, whether it's kids or the job or the family, whatever it is that you're doing, you don't take this time for yourself. You don't take this time for you. So now the moment you wake up, you're rocking and rolling, but what you're doing is you're answering to everybody else instead of yourself. So I said, all right, let's try this. Let's wake up early. I wake up early now naturally. I don't need any help. I wake up at 6:30 just because I had someone message me and she said, do you have kids to take to school? What are you doing up this early? And I said, it's just natural now. So even though we have the same hours in the day, because I wake up early, I'm able to take that hour I need to fully gather myself. I can take that run in the morning to de-stress my life. By 8 a.m., I am ready to rock and roll. I know. For you guys that like to sleep in, you're like, all right, yeah, whatever. I was the same way, but it's the truth. It is something to being active in your day. Now, when everything starts and these calls are coming in, I'm able to handle them and take them. instead of backtracking and spending 2 hours trying to fix what was happening while I was asleep. So that was my second mind shift, change my mental thinking. And for that, I had to do something physical. I had to start waking up early, but that got my mindset changed in thinking. Now, okay, I'm active in my day. I have, believe it or not, I feel like I get more done with the same hours. It's crazy. Try it, I promise. So the third one is that my time isn't coming. That one was a big one for me. And I've heard it with Byron Nelson. The first time I heard something like this was Byron Nelson, is that I'm thinking too small. We got to think bigger. That was kind of my first thought. This was at a Lake Tahoe event. We have that coming up. If you guys haven't, this was my very first Lake Tahoe event with Byron Nelson. We get so many nuggets that we hold close. But the third thing about my time isn't now, what do I mean? Or my time isn't coming. What do I mean by that? Last year, we talk about on our mindset training is that business is a roller coaster, right? You guys come with me. We're going to have what? Highs, and we're going to have lows. That's business in general. We're going to have some really, really great months, some really, really great weeks, and some not so great months and some not so great weeks. So I was on that roller coaster last year. Of course, my mental state, I said, you know what? Emotionally, I'm not going to ride the roller coaster, but my bank account rode that roller coaster. Last year here in San Antonio, we had some great months where we had Mr. Tony Kupas coming to San Antonio. Holy cow. But in between, what was happening in between? A lot of different stuff and a lot of things that were happening. So for me and my business, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. My lowest month last year, and I'm not throwing out any numbers, and it wasn't just ACN, in business in general, I don't know what was happening. $2,100 is all the income that came in to my house in 1 month. $2,000. Now, if we do the math, no, it's very, very hard to survive off $2,000 a month. That was 1 month. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I had a goal set that I wanted to hit $10,000 in a month. And I said, okay, well, I just hit $2,000. That $10,000 goal, man, I'm going to have to hit that next year. It just seems unrealistic going from 2,000 to 10,000 like that, right? Most people would say that's impossible. And I was laying in bed late. I like to play with those reels, watching these videos. It's something that I do. And I like watching those X Factor ones, those tryouts where people are just trying out and they make it and they're so excited. So there's this little girl on there. She's 19 years old. Long story short, she has cancer and she sings this song that my time is now. And the judges ask her, like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the reason behind the song? And she says that, oh, I have cancer. We're working through it, all that stuff. And he goes, oh, okay, so you're better now, right? And she goes, well, I have cancer here, here, and here. So she wasn't doing well. And he asked, like, why now? Why are you doing this? And I wrote it down because I want to make sure I get this correctly. And she said, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. So please write that down because I look at that every single day. You cannot wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. So my lowest month, I said, you know what? My time isn't coming. My time is not coming. My time is now. This is it. I do not care that I had my lowest month ever. I feel like I'm starting from scratch. We're going to do this. So I went from $2,000 1 month to $9,000 the next month. And again, you guys, this is business coming in. I don't want to make any income claims, not just strictly ACN, but I went from $2,000 to $9,000. I am so shy of my $10,000 goal that I thought I had to wait another 6 months or a year because I said that my time isn't coming. My time is now. You have to take it. So I want to tell you guys, I don't care where you are in your business. We're ending the first quarter. We started the first quarter excited, ready to rock and roll. And I was so happy to be here with you guys. And now we're ending. And some of us are doing amazing. Some of us not so well. Some of us, our business did not project the way we wanted it to. Who cares where we were yesterday? Your time isn't coming. I want to tell you that your time is now. And I want you guys to say it back with me. Speak it, believe it. Your time is when? Yes, yell it, Twyla. I love it. Your time is when? Now, Magali, I want to hear you guys in San Antonio. Your time is when? Now. I love it. So y'all stop screaming at me. Come on now. Let's go after it. Let's go get it. Your time isn't coming. Your time is now. Create that mental shift that you need to have the right mindset, and let's get after it, you guys. It has been a privilege. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. I am truly honored to be here. Being here and speaking to you guys does more for me probably than it does for you. And I love it and enjoy every moment of it. So I appreciate your leadership and all that you do and giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas.